Thank you so much, sir. Your class was a pure reflection of the profound knowledge you've gathered over the years. Thank you, sir. The last session of Aranyakam 2020 will deal with Ayurvedic Ethnomedico Botanical Surveys of Nagalassery Hills, Palakkad, Kerala. This will be delivered by Dr. Vipin Sukumaran. Vipin, sir, who hails from a family practicing traditional Ayurveda, is a BAMS graduate, Ayurveda College, Coimbatore. Sir did his PG from KVG Ayurveda Medical College, Karnataka. He is an assistant professor, Dravyaguna Department, Ashtamgam Ayurveda College. Sir has conducted various ethno-medico botanical surveys on Western Ghats and Eastern Ghats. A cheerful welcome to you, sir. Sir, you may now begin.
Namaste all. Is my PPT visible? Okay.
No, sir. The PPT has not appeared.
Yeah, it will come out. Just a minute. Yeah. Okay. A warm good evening to all of you. I'll stop video, I think. A warm good evening to all of you. Today, this is last 3 days. All of us were having a wonderful presentation from different parts of the world, especially from other states of in India. All were very informative and very useful. A lot of new knowledges were appearing before us. Well, today my presentation is with Ayurvedic Ethnomedical Botanical Survey of Nagalassery Hills. Nagalassery is a village situated at the central part of Kerala in Palakkad district, which is a median highland terrain region. Nagalassery Hills is situated near Kudalur Mana. Kudalur Mana is a old Brahmin residence, which was very famous for education, arts, martial arts, grammar, a very olden times an educational epicenter like a university also. So even the hill belongs to the same family, the property. This beautiful hills is surrounded by paddy fields, sacred groves, and Ashtamgam Ayurvedic Ethinomedical and Vaidya Vipin is situated at the footsteps of this hill. Okay. This is how we started our Aranyakam every year. Now this is the 3rd year, but this year we couldn't do it lively. We had to conduct a virtual seminar, a webinar here, and so we got so much gatherations here. So likewise, we do ethno-medical surveys very regularly. We can say every season-wise in the same place. Yesterday, I'm not going into the more details of the plants. Yesterday, our student has done a wonderful presentation on paddy field eco survey, which was part of it. We all together has done it. So I'm not going to the details of those. This is our logo, Ashtamgam Aranyakam. So about the geography, the flora is predominant into 2 distinctive area that we can say the southwest area like hard, big stones, grayish black soil, where a predominance of Prithvi Bhuda we can say. Northeast area, there is mostly a flatrate soil with the latent hard rocks, with numerous pores. We can say a combination of Agash and Prithvi Bhuda for the predominant area it is. And we can say in the southwest area of the Nagalassery hill, we can see big trees like Ficus bengalensis, Pterocarpus marsupium, Terminalia paniculatus, Sterculia guttata, Caryota urens, climbers like Dinospora cordifolia, Malabarica, Dinospora malabarica, Cyclia peltata, Gloriosa superba, Diascora hispida, Aristoloche indica. And northeast area we can see small medium trees like Sandalam album, Strychnus nuxvomica, Syzygium carophyllatum, shrubs like Memicillon species, Premna serratifolia, source of Acnimanda, Ixora coccinea, Flacortia indica, like climbers like Holostuma adapodium, Uvaria nara. These are some of the main major plants we see here. Well, this place is blessed with a rich biodiversity. We talked about the Western Ghats. It's like an extended part of Western Ghats, as well as area which shares the shores of Bharatapuzha, one of the state river of Kerala. This area is very rich in biodiversity, especially abundantly rich in medicinal plants. And some of the plants most of the plants which we find here has been discussed in detail by many scholars from different parts of it. Well, our student yesterday presented again in detail of it. I'm not going into that. I'm just here highlighting some of the most rarest plant which we found here, which is growing in this habitat, which naturally this place we have found it. And first one is Jyotishmati. I'm just quoted the quotation here. Vanni Vruddhis Pradiprada, one of the wonderful drug which is used in Apasmara, Mukharoga, Jyotishmati Thailam. It is very effective in. We have collected this plant. We have found this plant in and around Nagalassery hills. We were regularly conducting surveys season-wise, we can say. So we collected this mature fruit from the September-October period. Our students, we collected, took all together, went and collected this. Regularly, we are conducting seasonal surveys. By doing the seasonal survey, we were able to trace out the flowering, fruiting, and maturing of fruits of this plant. So we were able to collect it more in the season, and otherwise it will be wasted off. So we collected around more than 1 kg of Jyotishmati by our students itself. So that was one of the, and by this seasonal surveys and collection of seeds, we have initiated a program called Seed Bank. Again, an initiative started by our students. We have a seed bank today at Ashtamgam by the initiation of our students. These are some of the stages of Jyotishmati. The pictures were taken in different times, and now we are showing it as a. So next comes Geodorum Densiflorum. I think a few of the speakers spoke about this. It's one of the most very rare, the brink of extinction, this plant. So this is a noddy swap, hot-growing terrestrial orchid, rich in flavonoids and terpenoids. Some of the recent studies have been done on analgesic properties of this. In the Australian continent, there is as per the Google, the rhizome is grinded and used as an adhesive to bind musical instruments. Well, here we have been, there are some references used in male infertility, whereas in there is a custom of giving this in menstrual cycle with the honey as well as ghee, a small quantity of ghee and more part of honey. So, well, we told the clinical aspects, but it's a very rare plant, we very hardly, very accidentally, we spotted this plant, and our HOD, Dr. Ajay sir, identified this as this very rare plant. It's this orchid is again at the brink of extinction. So it needs. We have selected a very few plants today in my presentation that some very some peculiar that is we can say some ecologically sensitive plants. These are very sensitive plant, doesn't grow in the normal habitat. So here it needs a very peculiar type of land ecosystem, that is with a humid decayed leaves along with bacteria, funguses, microorganisms, and it doesn't even more sunlight also, and it stays dormant for most of the months in a year, and just comes out for a while in a year. So that is again about Geodorum Densiflorum. And next comes Jivaka, the Malacci versicolor. Malacci versicolor, which is again considered as one of the drugs in Ashtamgam as Jivaka. Jivaka. This also we very we spotted this in the Nagalassery hills. We found a few places where this grows abundantly. That is, I can say just about the while telling about the previous drug, Geodorum Densiflorum. It needs a very peculiar type of land ecosystem. We can say some place like untouched, unvisited by maybe human. It doesn't need human interference there. So we went through some of the places where people have hardly gone into that corners of the hill, maybe since long time. We spotted these plants, Jivaka. Next again with some of we have selected again around 3 orchids, one Densiflorum, Versicolor, and these are some of the another pictures of Jivaka, different stages of the flowering. The right side pictures is again the seeds have gone. And next comes Nervilia argona, Orchidaceae. This again we spotted here. We spotted an area where it grows abundantly. Those places were maybe undisturbed. Nobody has entered those places. Maybe. So we spotted this. We allowed it. We didn't disturb them. We take a few samples. We planted in our campus to this and made a similar ecosystem for these plants to grow. And now they have multiplied. Now we started this work 2 years back. Now we were successful in producing or bringing up new plants in our garden too, in our campus too. So Nervilia argona Padmacharini, Orchidaceae family, again is used as in medicinal as well as one of the very famous formulation Vaidya it is used. Then is used in other tantric uses also. This again we have spotted this orchid, and one more orchid is there which we have not identified, but it's again it could be taken as one of the sources for Ashtavarga, but we are not yet identified, but still we are looking for its next season while it flowers. So we are continuously surveying that area at least once in a month to see the flowers of it so that we can identify that. But anyway, we are sure that we have spotted one of the rarest pieces of orchid, which will be having a more deeper insight into medicinal purpose. So, well, the importance of surveying as well as the preservance of the natural the plants is very important. That is what we impart to our students also, and we propagate this. And even the seminar today, we intended to start and to gather here, all of us here, and propagate the importance of survey in the local area. So in previous one of the classes, some of the speakers were speaking about the plants available in Italy or in France or like that. We have got in Kerala or in this locality, we have got plants like Sida cordifolia, Sida rhombifolia. So in their locality, their Sida species are there, but another species, Sida species are there, but some other, but they can use it as there are no need to take plants from here, India to Italy or to them. They can use, and such effort has been presented here, very beautifully done. A wonderful effort. Hats off to all the people, all the teachers who have taught them again. And I'm very proud to say that our head of the institution, Dr. Nampi, is again a teacher to them from Italy again. Yeah, that was very inspiring. And after telling about the some orchids and rare plants, I'm starting with Draenei quercifolia. The properties of this has been discussed earlier. Once again, we here in Nagalassery, we can find this plant very commonly in many of the trees, roadside trees. We can see a lot of things. But the best variety or the more rich in quality is the Draenei taken from the rocks, which is sticking on the rocks. It is having more medicinal property. It is again edible. Now previously we talked about the orchids or the rare species. Now we are talking about the edible and health importance of plants. So these are again, it is used as a food as well as a medicine. In not in Nagalassery, we went for a survey in Kollimalai in Tamil Nadu, near Namakkal district. There, there is a trekking area of around 12 kilometers, very steep climbing and very long survey we do. And there, they use the local people use it as a soup. They take the rhizome or the of it looks like the goat's leg. So they call it in Tamil Attukal. Attukal means the leg of the goat. Adu means goat. Kal means leg. So Attukal soup. They make a soup of it. A very beautiful combinations are there. They make it and they serve. And the benefit of that is it is very good for joint pains. And we climb so much high terrain and walk for long, around 12 to 14 kilometers in single day. And even if after that no knee pain or the body pain is there. So that is one of the benefit of this plant. And we in classical Ayurveda, we are using it in many of the formulations like Illumishadi Lebo to Draenei folia we are using, and we are using it in our in our practice also. We make a food preparation like soup or rasam with this, and we are giving it for our patients also as a food. So these are again, and next comes one of the again very beautiful species. You can see the flower. It's a Memicelon species. We spotted around 3 varieties of Memicelon species here in the Nagalassery hills and in and around. This is again the flowers of it. It's very beautiful. This is again having a medicinal value as well as a beautiful plant which can be used as a garden plant also. Today we are spending more time and money for exotic plants as in our gardens. Instead of that, we can start planting plants like this, and also we can preserve this. We used to say, our grandfathers or my parents, they used to say these type of plants were very common in these areas previously, now very rarely spotted. So such that we can bring back the glory of it. Of these plants. Again, next comes Europagia. This is one of the most important finding of this again, Europagia. It's again a reference. I mentioned this the Hortus Malabaricus is one of the first printed version of botany text. Explains about this Seropegia flora, Seropegia candelabrum. We so Dr. Indu, please switch off your mic, ma'am. So, Serapegia biflora is again in Malayalam called as Nattanodium Valli. Our Rajan sir, again, we are lucky to have him in our college institution. Under him, he identified this plant and told that it is a very rare spotting in here. When we posted it, Ajay Ajan sir posted this picture of this into Facebook, and somebody commented that lastly it was spotted in Kasaragod and in Idiki. So third time it was spotted in Nagalassery. So we were so lucky to have these plants here. And again, that is one of the benefits and of doing surveys. And now we spotted this plant. It is having a reference in mentions about this plant in Hortus malabaricus. Now around 3 species of Serapegia we have identified here, and we have preserved it. We have brought it to our campus. We have multiplied it, and now we are preserving it in the natural form in the Nagalassery hills, as well as we have brought this plant into our campus, and we have this plant in our list. And this is one of the day we discovered this. Our colleagues with our colleague. Just a minute. Okay. So this is one of the day we discovered this plant in Nagalassery hills. Then comes the Canscora perfoliata. This is again taken as one of the real source of Shankapushpi. So the text mentions about that this should be used as Shankapushpa, which is having Medhya property. So the drug which is having similar types of plant sources, that is, this is one of the source of Shankapushpi, Canscora perfoliata, Canscora species. We identified this plant here in Nagalassery hills. Again, the importance of doing surveys, and that we can find the similar type of plants for a particular plant sources for a particular drug, particular dravya. So we spotted this here in Ashtamgam Nagalassery hills area. Then comes again another very important plant which we identified here in Nagalassery, Karingudangal, Geophilia rectans. Karimuttul, called in Malayalam Karimuttul, Karindagali. It is having a wonderful effect in hemorrhoids, piles. Edakkad Narayana Vaidyan, one of the very prominent physicians of Kerala, and an academician who has brought out authored few books and translations. So he used to mention this should be used as Brahmi. So that is again another opinion about it, which is to be debated. As far as we are using Bacopulmonary or Central Asiatic or Hydrocotyle Asiatic as Brahmi, so whereas Edakkad Narayana Vaidyan used to say that this should be used as Brahmi. That was one of the comments we got while we shown this drug. So that is some of the another part of some of the drugs some of the important rare endangered plants we spotted in Nagalassery hills. I told we are not repeating or going into the more clinical therapeutic aspects of the plant, because many of them has been discussed earlier. So again, the importance of surveying, the importance of this is again the picture of Premna ceratifolia, a source of Agnimantha. The importance of plants, around more than 5 varieties of butterflies are taking this Premna ceratifolia is a host plant for more than 5 or 6 types of butterflies. I'm not sure, maybe corrected if I'm wrong, but we have spotted more than these numbers. Some of the pictures are this. So the importance of survey, importance of preservance of the plants. Many plants have been ignored and are not in use today. That is one of the point we are emphasizing here at Ashtangam. Bringing using of mostly available local plants into our pharmacopoeia again. Previously, we had this concept. We forgot or we choose to ignore in some point of time. And when we went back with the bigger formulations also, so bringing back this local health tradition, the local, because Ayurveda has taken a lot of data from the local tradition. Like, so that is one of the important part. And we have, as told about the drugs, the plants told here, we at Ashtangam, we have a 12-acre campus, green campus, rich in medicinal plants, fruiting plants, aquatic plants, exotic plants. And we welcome you all for the next Aranyakam. This time we could only do it as a virtual webinar. Next time we can have a live interaction, live experience with the plants. And thank you for listening. The question and answer session we will have after one more speech by